Hello everyone, welcome to GATE Mechanical Lecture Classes. Now we are going to solve a problem from GATE 2020 set ME2 and it is regarding a mechanics of machining problem. So let us see the problem. A cylindrical bar with 200 mm diameter is being turned with a tool geometry and the tool geometry is given in ASA system, that is 0 degree, 9 degree, 7 degree, 8 degree, 15 degree, 30 degree and nose radius is 0.05 inch and resulting a cutting force is FC1. Okay. If the tool geometry changed to this, another tool geometry is given and all other parameters remain unchanged. So all other parameters like cutting velocity, feed, depth of cut, they are unchanged. The cutting force changes to FC2. So two tools has been used. This is the first one, this is the second one, and all cutting parameters remains unchanged. The only cutting force changes from FC1 to FC2. Specific cutting energy is given, that is UC is equal with U0 T1 to the power minus 0.4 and the unit of UC is joule per millimeter cube, where U0 is specific cutting coefficient, U0 is specific energy coefficient and T1 is the uncut thickness in millimeter. Okay, T1 is the uncut chip thickness in millimeter. Determine this amount, that is FC2 minus FC1 by FC1 into 100 and you have to determine round off to 1 decimal place. Okay, so let us write the designation in ASA system. What is the designation of ASA system? The first one is gamma y, that is back rake angle, gamma x is side rake angle, alpha y is back clearance angle, alpha x is side clearance angle, phi e is end cutting edge angle, phi e is end cutting edge angle and phi s is approach angle and r is nose radius, and we have put the two tools as below of that. Okay, this is for tool 1 and this is for tool 2. So the only change is in here, that is the approach angle. So only change between two tools are in approach angle and all others are remain same. So now let us see what is what is specific cutting energy. The specific cutting energy UC is what? The mathematical expression of UC is cutting power divided by material removal rate. So cutting power divided by MMR, that is material removal rate, MRR, sorry. So MRR, material removal rate. So what is cutting power? That is FC into VC. FC is main cutting force. Generally we denote it by PZ. PZ is our main cutting force, but here in the problem it is denoted by FC. That's why I have chosen FC here. So FC into VC, VC is cutting velocity. So force into velocity is cutting power. This is in watt and FC in Newton and VC in meter per second. Okay. Then what is material removal rate? That is VC S0 into D. But this VC we have to material removal rate we will take in millimeter cube per second. Okay, then it will be what? Watt into second will be joule, that is joule. Here it is given, so the total unit, ultimate unit will be watt into second, is becomes joule per millimeter cube. But look at here, this Vc that is in denominator is not same with the numerator. The Vc at denominator will be millimeter in second, millimeter per second, okay, and feed will be millimeter per revolution, this feed, unit of this feed, and d will be in millimeter. So this is the mathematical expression, and I have also given their units also. So let me erase this. The mathematical expression is important here, other terms are irrelevant to this problem. So this is for your fundamental concept only. So UC becomes what? Main cutting force into cutting velocity divided by material removal rate, that is cutting velocity, feet per revolution into depth of cut. So all other parameters in this problem, that is given that all other parameters remains unchanged, that is Vc, S0 and D are remains unchanged. Let me show it here, that is here one typical turning process with a single point turning tool is shown. This is the workpiece, this is the finished surface, okay, this is the tool position which is shown by continuous line, and the dotted position of the tool which was just previous revolution of the workpiece. So this amount is what? This amount is S0, that is feet per revolution. In the previous, before one rotation, the tool was at the dotted position, and then the tool has occupied, after a complete revolution of the job or workpiece, the tool has occupied this constant line position. This is the constant line, and this is called main cutting edge, this is called auxiliary cutting edge. This angle is phi. Phi is what? Phi is principal cutting edge. And this is the feed direction, and this much is my depth of cut. So all the parameters has been described, okay. So UC is only function of FC because these parameters are this parameter remains unchanged. So if I write UC2 by UC1, that is for tool 2 and tool 1, that becomes what? FC2 by FC1, okay. So from this equation we get UC2 by UC1 is FC2 by FC1. And now here this is also we can write, which is given at this equation, that UC is U0 T1 to the power minus 0.4. So we can write what? U0 T1 2 to the power 0.4 and U0 T1 1 to the power minus 0.4. So ultimately we get what? Let me erase these things because these are not relevant. So only difference between two tools are approach angle. So let it here, and now from these two, FC2 by FC1 becomes T1 2 T1 1 to the power minus 0.4. So the cutting force is function of uncut chip thickness only. Now what is uncut chip thickness? All of you know uncut chip thickness is S0 sin phi. The phi is what? Phi is principal cutting edge angle. It is shown here. This is phi. Phi is principal cutting edge angle. And what is approach angle? This is my approach angle. This angle is approach angle, phi s. And if this is 90 degree, then what is relation between phi and phi s? So phi is 90 degree minus phi s. So if I find the phi between tool 1 and tool 2, then phi for tool 1 is 60 degree, 90 minus 30 is 60 degree, and here it will be 90 degree. Okay, so for tool 1 phi is 60 degree and for tool 2 phi is 90 degree, and T1 is S0 sin phi. How this is S0 phi sin phi, I will show you later in this lecture later. Okay, and in what situation this equation is valid, I will explain to you. Now only note it that T1 is S0 sin phi and phi is, I have shown here, phi is phi s minus 90 minus phi s. Phi is 90 degree minus phi s. From this triangle, this is phi, this is phi s. Phi s is approach angle, phi is principal cutting edge angle. So we have to determine FC2 by FC1. So let me erase this. So FC2 by FC1 becomes what? FC2 by FC1 is T12, that is S0 sin for tool 2, this is for tool 1, this is for tool 2. For tool 2 phi is 90 degree and S0 sin 60 degree to the power minus 0.4. Let us calculate what is the value. S0 will be cancelled. So sin 90 is 1. So 1 divided by sin of 60, okay, to the power minus 0.4. So FC2 by FC1 becomes 0.944. So FC2 by FC1 is 0.944 from this equation. Okay, now we have to determine FC2 minus FC1 by FC1 into 100. So that will be what? FC2 by FC1 is this. So this minus 1, FC1 by FC1 is 1. So minus 1 into 100. So minus 5.59. So this is equal to minus 5.59. Now it has been asked to determine round off to 1 decimal place. So if we round up to 1 decimal, then it will becomes minus 5.6. So this is the answer. So this is the answer. We have determined the answer. So let us write here 5.6. So the answer is 5.6. Okay. So we have solved this problem. But the question is, we have used this equation here. T1 is S0 sin phi. T1 is uncut chip thickness. So when it is S0 sin phi, let us see how it becomes S0 sin phi and what situation this equation is not valid. Okay. So let us check the validity of the equation. This is a single point turning tool and typical turning operation. Okay. So this view is in pi r, that is on reference plane. What is reference plane and other terms I have explained in tool geometry class. This is reference plane, that is if this workpiece is rotating, then VC will be perpendicular to this board. At here the velocity vector will be perpendicular to this board. Okay. So the pi r is reference plane which is perpendicular to VC. So this is perpendicular to VC and this view is drawn on pi r. Now if the machining is a orthogonal machining, what is orthogonal machining? When chip flows along orthogonal direction. If chip flows along orthogonal direction, that is orthogonal machining. If chip flows deviates from orthogonal direction, that is oblique machining. So considering that this machining process is orthogonal, then only this equation is valid. So how this becomes S0 sin phi, let me show to you. Okay. So orthogonal direction, this is pi o, orthogonal plane, and this is pi o, this is the orthogonal plane which is perpendicular to pi r and perpendicular to pi c, that is the cutting plane, pi c is cutting plane. So orthogonal direction is always perpendicular to principal cutting edge. Orthogonal direction is always perpendicular to principal cutting edge. So if chip is flowing through orthogonal direction, that is chip flows along this direction, then what we are taking a section along orthogonal plane. So we have chosen a section along this and let us draw how it look like. Okay, to draw that, let extend these two lines. Okay. Sorry. So let us extend these two lines. So this becomes my tool's cross section. So this is my tool. Okay, this is A1. Sorry, not A1, because here uncut chip thickness is denoted by T1. Generally we denote it by A1. This is T2. This is the workpiece and this is the tool, and this angle is gamma O and this is alpha O. Okay, so this much is my T1. T1 is what? T1 is here. This much is T1. Now if I draw the enlarged view of this portion, let us draw an enlarged view. The two consecutive position of cutting tool. So this much is S0. So this perpendicular, this distance is A1. Okay, this is phi. So in orthogonal direction, sorry, I am sorry again, that is T1, because uncut chip thickness is denoted by T1 here. So by this T1 becomes S0. This angle will also be phi. This angle is also phi, as this is phi, becomes S sin phi. Okay. So when machining is a orthogonal machining, then only T1 is S0 sin phi. Now, so we have developed this equation, that is T1 is S0 sin phi, and we have seen the condition of machining is orthogonal machining, that is the chip is flowing through orthogonal direction. But let us come to this problem. Here the tool having, both the tool having a finite nose radius. If a tool having finite nose radius, then the machining process will never be orthogonal. That will be an oblique machining. And the T1 sin phi, this relationship will not be valid when the tool principal cutting edge having a curvature due to the nose radius. Okay, so let us see that when the tool is perfectly sharp, that is there is no nose radius, and this is my depth of cut. See, the value of T1 remains unchanged and the chip is flowing through orthogonal direction which is perpendicular to the principal cutting edge. So this relationship is valid for this. Now if the tool having a finite nose radius, let me draw it here. So this is my S0. This was S0 here. Okay. These are two consecutive positions of principal cutting edge between two consecutive complete rotation of the workpiece. So let us consider here this is the depth of cut. Now for the straight portion of the tool, sorry, depth of cut is D, T1 is constant. So this is my T1. So T1 remains constant up to which the tool having straight cutting edge, straight principal cutting edge. But when the curvature due to nose radius starts, the T1 remains constant. It tends to changing and it is 0 here. So T1 becomes 0 here. So T1 remains not constant when there is a finite nose radius. So this equation is not valid for the curvature portion. Okay, and if here the depth of cut, okay, this problem is valid when D, depth of cut, is much more larger than the nose radius. Okay, depth of cut is much more larger than the nose radius. What is nose radius? Nose radius is this much. Okay, if D is very large, then this effect will be smaller than this effect. So the average uncut chip thickness T will take this value only. But if D is smaller than R, that is depth of cut is smaller than R, that is say somewhere here, depth of cut is somewhere here, then this equation not remains valid. T1 is S0 sin phi, and this T1 is not a constant. So this problem will not be valid because here it is given that uncut chip thickness. So what uncut chip thickness? Uncut chip thickness at what instant? Or is it average uncut chip thickness? So that is not mentioned in the problem, as well as what is the depth of cut of the process, that is also not mentioned in the problem. So I think this problem having insufficient data, so you can consider this as an insufficient data problem, okay, because depth of cut is not given, or either it has to be mentioned that T1 is average uncut chip thickness or at what instant. Okay, if D is less than nose radius, then at what instant that T1 or average T1. Okay, I hope you have understood. Thank you for watching this video. I wish you best of luck in your GATE examination.